Hey there everybody, this is David Phillips with MDWK9.com, and today I would like to talk a little bit about my technique, motivational training. Motivational training is a method that was developed for people who love their dogs. Do you love your dog? I know I do. There is actually so much information. There's so much information out there on motivational training and drive that it gets convoluted. There's just so much. Yet, with all this information, it's very complicated for your average dog owner to understand. So here I am, going to try to make it as easy as possible for you to get. Not only the fact is there's so much information, there are also a lot of lazy people who want quick fixes and immediate results. They do not want to allow their dog to benefit, yet nobody is really speaking about motivational training in the entirety of what it really is. It's purely positive. Nobody's speaking on this. Everyone's speaking about, yes, we're going to drive, force, and then drive. That is noted in the book, but it's not what you think it is. And the only time a correction is needed is because of bad training. Training a dog using motivational techniques simply teaches your dog to enjoy training, and your dog begins to enjoy obeying your commands, to enjoy listening to you. Your dog actually enjoys being a good dog as opposed to being scared or fearful. A lot of people misconceive this fear as guilt. No, it's fear. It's because you have punished the dog. The biggest thing to remember is to have fun. Make sure your dog's having fun. If your dog's uncomfortable or scared, you're doing it wrong and you're moving too quickly. More times than I can count and more trainers than I can name teach dogs using a fear-based approach. And the dogs only respond in lieu of the fear of punishment. A lot of these trainers will tell you what they're using as positive reinforcement. But if there's any pain associated with it, you could bet yourself that that is not positive reinforcement. That is a fear-based adverse approach. I mean, really, how many times using an adverse technique do you go out there in the mind frame, I am going to train this dog, but it's never a fun thing. I know a distraction's coming up, so I'm going to correct it or hit it. It's stressful not only for you and the dog. So instead of the dog being scared, now you have a happy dog, a good dog, a dog that chooses to behave and is happy to behave. Don't get me wrong, you still have to be aware of the distractions all around, but it's not as stressful. You understand your dog's mistakes. You understand it makes mistakes. You're empathetic to the fact that it's going to mess up if you push it past its threshold. It doesn't respond based off of fear of punishment. It's just as simple to teach your dog with a simple pet, a pat on the head, a little pet under the chin, game of fetch, a treat, what a good boy. It's that simple. You don't have to raise your voice. It makes us feel better. When using motivational training, your dog is actually allowed to make a mistake. Go figure. When using motivational training, your dog is actually allowed to make choices. And this is where a lot of the argument with adversive trainers comes into play. When using motivational training, your dog is allowed to make choices. And this is a huge argument I have with a lot of adversive balanced trainers. They don't understand how a dog is able to make a choice. This is how your dog will learn right versus wrong. It will associate the correct choices with a positive response. Once it makes a correct choice, it gets what it wants. And when it gets what it wants, it starts connecting the dots. I like this. I'm going to repeat this behavior. So many people want to argue without punishment. How will your dog know what it's doing wrong? And for those that want to argue, how will your dog know when it's doing wrong? Well, generally, you are the one who teaches it the bad behaviors. I mean, if your dog is chewing up your shoes, why did it have access to your shoes? If your dog is chewing up your couch, why did it have access to chew up your couch? And in my experience, improper corrections cause the most extreme bad behaviors. They create the conflict. They make it where your dog just doesn't want to listen to you. Eventually. I'm not saying at first. Now, I'm not saying every trainer. But for the majority of pet owners, your timing is wrong, your corrections are too strong, and you're creating a hectic, crazy dog by consistently punishing it instead of ever telling it it's good for doing the correct things. Or you're telling it it's good doing the correct things. With these motivational techniques, we actually give our dogs the credit they deserve for being intelligent, emotional creatures that enjoy to please us as the owners. They enjoy doing what we ask them to do. They enjoy not being naughty. They enjoy being our friend and pleasing us. They enjoy doing what we ask them to do when we allow them to think for themselves. A lot of people like to discredit their dog's intellect, and these same people demand them to obey. They demand the respect. And because you are demanding something you have not earned with any sentient being, thanks Gage, this is where the human-canine conflict begins. The dogs generally do not understand what we want without being shown what we expect of them. The dogs are not mind readers and they are not humans. They just don't know. You have to teach them. You have to show them what to do and what not to do. If you are tired of underestimating your dog and treating it unfairly, let us show you how motivational training works. Many of our techniques are based off the scientific principles of learning and behavior. Most of these principles were pioneered during the process of training sea animals, using the most fundamentally, universally accepted method. You can't put a prong collar on a killer whale, a tiger, or a bear and live to tell about it. So why would you do it to your dog? When you use similar motivational training techniques, your dog learns to love training, loves behaving, and loves obeying your commands. You and your dog's confusion and conflict disappear. The way becomes clear for your dog. Using motivational techniques, you train without using coercion, bribery, or unfair corrections. And when your dog does it right, it gets what it wants. If you enjoy jerking your dog or correcting it before it even knows what to do or what you expect of it, this method is probably not for you. This method allows your dog to be wrong, then rewards it for what it is doing right. If you are looking for a quick fix, then this training is probably not for you. This training relies on creating the correct habits and building a strong foundation. With this training, it's a way to offer you and your dog the pleasure of teamwork. Here's a way that creates harmony through understanding and trust. Here's a way to see training through your dog's point of view. Here is a method that relies heavily on positive reinforcement. And if you're looking to have real fun with your dog while training, this is the method for you.